Welcome to my bunker. Tonight, I just wanted to show off I feel a sense of accomplishment. I made a witch's tooth for a Stanley number 71. I've had this plane for probably about 4 years or so. I picked it up at an antique tool sale. It came with one cutter, which was this little 1/4-inch cutter. I've used it some, not too much. Another one, it came with a corner clearing cutter. It's a bugger to sharpen. Any of these cutters for this thing are hard to sharpen, whether you're using stones or even going, and for myself, I use Tormek to sharpen all my cutters with. And even with that, they don't make any kind of jig that you can do it with. And about a year and a half ago or so, I made this little cutter for it. It's about 3/8 of an inch in width. I use it for clearing out dado joints. When you cut a dado joint on the table saw, you'll find out that even though you think it went through nice and flat, there's a lot of times there's discrepancies in the depth of the dado, and it's just the way the wood goes across the top of the table saw. So it's nice to have something like this. After you get done, run this across there. I mean, you get it close to the table saw. I mean, anything, I'll admit, I use a lot of power tools, but you do need to have tools like this to go back in and do your finish work and also find out basically kind of a QC type of deal. Now, for me, this I would set at the whatever depth my dado was, and I'd run through it with this. If I came across a high spot, heck, this thing just chopped it all out. The only problem is, most dado joints you do with 3/4-inch plywood are 3/4 inch wide. So I thought, it'd be nice to have something that's probably like around 5/8 of an inch. So this afternoon, around 4 o'clock today, I decided I would make one. And so same thing, what I did here, I made this little guy. It's just some 1/2-inch solid square stock from the old Home Depot. I cut a slot in it. I roughed it out with a cutting wheel blade on my little die grinder, and then went in with a file and got it to size. So that way, basically, very little slop. I mean, you can hear a little click right there, but probably a couple thousandths clearance on it. And then what I did was I TIG welded on a piece of D2 tool steel. From this point down is D2. And so with having D2 on there, D2 will hold a heck of an edge. I used this for all my kitchen cabinets, finished up the job, and I still have not put a new edge on there yet, and it's still wicked sharp. So it's a good tool steel. I welded it with number 308L rod, which works good when you're going from like a cold rolled steel to a tool steel. It's just one of those things that it melds it all together. So that was successful. So what I did was, today I made one that's 0.719. I think it's like 23/32. So it's just shy of 3/4 of an inch. And basically put this one in and sharpened it up, polished it up, and we'll see how it works. I tuned it up by basically placing it onto some spacer blocks and putting it over the top of a stone, running it across, and finding where it is flat at. And once I found that, I went ahead and polished in an edge using my Tormek, and I was quite amazed after I got done to be able to basically put it down and give it a try. I mean, boy, it's kind of fun when you see chips like this. They almost turn out just lacy-like. And across here, it is really shallow. 3/1000ths? I don't know. This little piece of D2 tool steel and a piece of cold rolled steel worked quite well.